Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to walk you through an at-home facial, and it's just going to be a real-time facial. Basically, I'm going to pamper my skin and show you how you can do an at-home facial as well. This is something that you can easily do at home once a month or so just to keep your skin happy, and you probably have most of these products at home, or if not, I will give alternatives along the way. So the first thing we are going to do is cleanse our skin, of course. So I have oily and acne prone skin, so I'm starting with an oil cleanser, and you're going to want to massage this into your skin for at least 60 seconds. I would say between 60 seconds to about 2 minutes is a good amount. And this is just going to loosen up any sebum and remove any makeup, sunscreen, dirt, anything else from the day as our first layer of cleansing. I also like to use the time that I oil cleanse to do some gua sha. So I just have a little stone. I think I got this one honestly from Amazon, maybe around $10. So I just use this time to kind of massage my face. I actually have not studied specific techniques, but I've watched a lot of other YouTube videos on this. So I just do it in the spots that it feels good for me and anywhere that I want to kind of like sculpt or stimulate. But I will say I have noticed a huge difference in my skin since I've been doing this and just like my overall facial structure. And I don't know if I'm noticing a difference just because it stimulates blood flow or if it's actually like draining the lymph nodes, but I know that there's lots of benefits either way. So it doesn't harm anything to do it. And honestly, it feels really, really good as well. So I always do this if I'm doing an at-home facial or just if I'm oil cleansing all my makeup off. And the whole idea of this facial is to just take some time for yourself and just pamper your skin. So you can massage your face and do the gua sha as long as you like and as long as feels good to you. I finished it and then I just did a little bit more massaging of the oil cleanser just to make sure it got off all the makeup, any dirt, any debris. And then I'm just basically adding a little bit of water to my hands because this is what's going to emulsify the oil cleanser and help it to remove all of that dirt and makeup and everything. And because this is a pre-cleanse, we're just going to basically remove all of the oil cleanser. I'm going to rinse my face with water and get all of that off. And then I'm going to go in with a gentle cleanser. I'm using one of these little cute little sponges that I have. I just love these, and it made the facial feel just more elevated and fun. So I just have a little bowl with warm water, and I'm just using the little sponge to cleanse my skin. I like to use a gentle cleanser because I have acne prone oily skin, and I feel like I'm always dancing back and forth between using my actives and using gentle products so that I don't damage my skin barrier. So if you have not tried this cleanser, it is honestly my absolute favorite. I like a cleanser that like foams up and has bubbles, but also isn't going to strip my skin. So this one is like the perfect medium. And again, you're going to massage this cleanser in for between 60 seconds and 2 minutes. And that's just going to, again, make sure that you're actually removing any of that like leftover dirt, debris, and basically anything that the oil cleanser wasn't able to remove. And using a sponge or a washcloth will help just gently exfoliate your skin. I'm actually going to do a chemical exfoliant later in the facial, but this is just like a nice gentle exfoliant as well with manual exfoliation. And it feels really good. And the next step to our at-home facial is going to be to steam your skin. And this will depend, I guess, if you have one of these little facial steamers, you can use something like this. You want to make sure that you're only using distilled water if you have one of these. Otherwise, you can just boil some water. You can put a little bit of essential oils in a bowl of water if you're doing that method. And then you're just going to basically lean over the bowl with a towel over your head. And all of the steam coming off of the hot water is just going to steam your face, very similar to what I'm doing here. So this you're going to want to steam for a couple of minutes. Like I kind of steamed for around 5 or so minutes, I would say. So anywhere between like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how much time you have and what feels good. And after steaming, we are going to do a face mask. So I'm using a volcanic clay mask. This one is from Innisfree, and that's just because I want to basically clear out my pores and I have oily acne prone skin. If you have dry skin or sensitive skin, you may want to use like a more gentle mask or something that's going to be hydrating and soothing. So you can kind of tailor this to your skin type and what your skin needs are at the time. So once we do our mask, I left this on for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and I just went and folded some laundry while I was waiting for it to dry. And then I'm just using a warm washcloth just to gently remove all of that extra mask. And I feel like, especially with clay masks, the easiest way to remove it is going to be with a warm washcloth. If you're just trying to use water and like soap, it takes forever to actually get all of the mask off. So a warm cloth is just the easiest way. Now I'm using a red light therapy mask. This again is going to be something that you may have. If not, I definitely recommend looking into a red light therapy mask in the future. It just has so many healing benefits. It helps produce collagen, it helps like heal, lighten acne scarring, things like that. So I'm using the Cure mask. This one is only a 3-minute mask, which I really like. I do have another one from Aduro, and that one you have to wear for 20 minutes. So I prefer the quicker one, but sometimes I'll use the other one as well. And after the mask, I'm now using a chemical exfoliant. So this is the Medicube Zero Pore Pads. These honestly can be a little bit harsh. If you have sensitive skin, I would just be careful with these. Don't use them like anywhere near other exfoliants that you've used. So wait a couple days in between if you've done any other exfoliating or anything like that, just because they can be a little bit drying. I really find that my skin can only use these like maximum 1 time per week because I am using other ingredients like retinol and things like that on other days. So just use caution with these. I would not recommend using them daily like some people say, but yeah, give them a try. You can also use any other liquid exfoliant or chemical exfoliant. The Paula's Choice Exfoliate is another really good option that I will use often. Or if you have something else like lactic acid or even the ordinary salicylic acid mask. So I always let my liquid exfoliant dry just because I've heard that it helps penetrate the skin better. And if you add on other ingredients on top, it won't actually have time to absorb into your skin properly. So now I'm just doing some kind of general skin prep. I'm using the Bioma Face Balancing Mist, and then I use the Medicube Collagen Serum. This one honestly gives my skin such a nice glow. And I am going to be doing a hydrating mask after this. So whenever I do a hydrating mask, I like to put on some like hydrating ingredients beforehand because I feel like it's just kind of like a double whammy, and it then sandwiches in all of the ingredients I put on my skin along with all of the moisturizing benefits of whatever mask that I'm using. So I am taking this time to just gently massage it into my skin. Everything with this is supposed to be just relaxing, and this is kind of time for us to just baby our skin and just, be present and just pamper ourselves. So I'm using the Biodance Collagen Mask. This one is one of those masks that starts out white and then you're supposed to wear it for at least 3 hours and it ends up going clear. Once all of the moisturizing ingredients soak into your skin, I guess that's how the mask dries out into a clear look. So I've honestly been loving these. I haven't worn it to bed yet because I'm not a back sleeper and I'm scared that it would just like fall off and go all over my pillow. But I do like wearing it sometimes in the evening for as long as I can, at least 3 hours. So looking like a Santa Claus right now. And honestly, I was enjoying this way too much. But anyways, yeah. So I'm just putting on the mask. I ended up going downstairs and watching a show. I've been watching, I think it's called Grand Cayman. Honestly, I haven't heard anyone talk about it. It's like just one of those random shows. I feel like I'm always trying to find random dating shows and things like that. That's just mindless television. So I put on the mask, watched that for a while, and then about 3.5-ish hours later, I ended up taking this one off to continue the facial. So doing an at-home facial can just be a really great way to take care of your skin. I know there's lots of reasons that people go for facials, and if you go for, I guess, the relaxation part, that makes sense, but sometimes you just want the actual skin benefits. So if that's the case, you definitely need to try an at-home facial like this. It will save you so much money, especially if you have kids or a busy schedule. Sometimes it's hard to actually schedule in a facial. So I honestly prefer this option, and I've accumulated quite a few gadgets along the way. So I did put on a lip balm, went downstairs, watched my show, and now I came back up to remove the mask about 3.5 hours later. As you can see, the mask didn't fully go clear yet, but it's been long enough that it's done its job and I needed to get ready for bed. So I'm just using some Centella. This one is the Centella Ampoule, and this one is just really good for like redness, hydration. It's very soothing, and I honestly just used it because I want it to be as glowy as possible. And I was basically at this point just adding anything glowy to make my skin look as dewy and nice as possible. But as you can see, I already had a really nice glow going just from that collagen mask and the products that I put on before it. And again, I leave a couple of seconds between each product just to let them absorb a little bit. Now I'm using the Vanicream Daily Facial Moisturizer. This is the best moisturizer if you have clogged pores or your skin is kind of like acne prone and congestion prone. This one is like, it's like the lightest cream, but also a very heavy cream. It's basically the heaviest cream that my skin can handle, and I get really easily clogged pores. So if you're looking for something that's like very gentle, it also says that it's got the National Eczema Association banner on it, I guess. So non-comedogenic, free of dyes, no fragrances. And I find that it's just like a very thick, heavy moisturizer, which is literally impossible to find when you have acne prone skin or pore clog prone skin. Everything settles into my pores. So I'm absolutely obsessed with this. And I just took this time to do a little facial massage once again. I always bring the moisturizer down my neck, but look at that glow. This whole at home facial process took me a total of maybe like 30 minutes of active stuff where I was actually in the bathroom doing it, and then the 3.5 ish hours of just waiting for the mask. But honestly, the results are amazing. You definitely need to try this if you haven't done an at home facial. And I hope that this is helpful for someone who hasn't done an at home facial and wants to kind of follow along with something in real time. But if you like this kind of thing, I do this kind of stuff on my channel, and I would love to have you here. Thanks for watching. Bye.